Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Britt, 25, missing for 250 days after vanishing on family holiday with woman he met online, and sending final text to mum. A heartbroken mum whose British son has been missing in Italy since July last year says she feels completely let down by cops. Michael Frisson from Chard, Somerset, went missing in Sardinia on July 13, 2024, the day he was originally due to return to the UK. He had extended his trip to stay with Jersey citizen Naomi Orlandini for an extra week, after she traveled to join him on his holiday. Following his disappearance, Naomi, the last person to see him alive, went off the radar after a catalogue of Italian police blunders. Michael's devastated mum, Christina Pitalis, 49, says she now relates to Jay Slater's mum Debbie Duncan, as the search for her son passes 250 days. Italian cops have since launched a criminal probe following Michael's disappearance, but have had limited contact with his mum. Christina explained that Michael flew from Bristol Airport to Olbia on July 2, before driving to his grandparents' home in Sassari to celebrate his 25th birthday and his grandma's 70th. Naomi, 27, who Christina says met her son online in July 2023, asked to join him on the trip, which he agreed to, and he canceled his return trip to the UK, scheduled for July 13, to stay with her for an extra week. Michael was allegedly told by Naomi that her father was due to join her in Sardinia the following week, and he didn't feel it was right to leave her alone, given she had nowhere to stay. Sardinian-born Christina told The Sun. They only met in person once before she asked Michael if she could join him in Sardinia while he was with his grandparents. He was really happy to be there and was celebrating his 25th and his grandma's 70th, but his demeanor changed when she arrived. He wasn't as chatty or smiley when she arrived. He was always in contact with me almost on a daily basis. She asked Michael if he could stay with her, and he said to me, "Mum, I will stay a bit longer and will keep her company until her dad arrives in Sardinia," she added. According to Christina, the pair left Michael's grandparents' home on July 12 and went to volunteer on a nascent farm in the Galera hinterland, where they would work in exchange for food and accommodation. The farm is located in Luras, a barren and remote area that the mum of two said is surrounded by rugged terrain and deep vegetation, which is where Michael was last seen. She added that the trip there from her parents' home was about 70 miles. The pair arrived at the farm, owned by a German couple, on the same day they left, staying in a tent about 100 meters away from the owners, who were in a camper van. Christina said that was the last time she heard from him. He texted me saying he was going to sleep and that he'd call me tomorrow, around 8 p.m. he sent that. He ended it with, "I love emoji you." On July 14, 2 days after last hearing from her son, she received a Facebook message from the landowner's account, written by Naomi, telling her to contact the landowner. Christina said, she said to call a number that belonged to this man. She said Michael went for a walk in the morning of the 13th, and returned in a confused state of mind, possibly due to heatstroke. After resting, he ventured out again and did not return. She found his clothes, but personal belongings were all left behind. They didn't raise the alarm, didn't call an ambulance when he was unwell, didn't call the police, didn't even call nearby people, the devastated mother continued. It's a very remote area and imperious terrain. The first thing I would have done was gone to a nearby neighbor and say my friend was unwell. But they didn't raise an alarm, not cared about his safety. It's very sinister. Christina, who was widowed several years ago, quickly flew out to assist the search for her son, who she described as a kind and truly special soul. But she felt frustrated about the lack of clarity she received from Naomi and the landowner, with her gut feeling as a mum telling her something untoward had happened to her son. She said, "I flew out to Sardinia and realized what was going on. Their story was that my son essentially left the place wearing only his pants. She said he was barefoot. It's impossible." It's dry and imperious land full of stones and dry vegetation. It's difficult to move with no shoes. The search for Michael began around 6 p.m. on July 14, with fire service crews and volunteers springing into action, though cops didn't get involved until July 19. It's destroyed our lives. I'm going through an unimaginable mix of emotions. This left Christina frustrated, given the closing window of opportunity to gather evidence. She said she even had to preserve her own son's belongings in a bag for evidence, to preserve any potential forensic evidence. The search was called off after just 2 weeks. Christina said she feels let down by Sardinian authorities following multiple police blunders that could have hindered the case. This included advice she gave them from British police to withhold the passport of Naomi, who also has links to Thailand, in order to further their inquiries. The Italian-born mother told The Sun, "I really wish the British authorities were involved. I feel completely let down by my own nation. I can't even imagine how Jay Slater's mum would have felt when her son went missing, and she couldn't communicate in Spanish. I can communicate with the police, and they have done absolutely nothing. They have been useless. British police told me to refer the message to the Italian authorities to keep Naomi's passport. Not only did they not do it, but they got offended and said they knew how to do their job. Italian police haven't contacted me since. They don't tell me anything. I'm being kept in the dark. We don't have a family liaison officer or anything. The crucial passport error may have allowed Naomi to vanish with a raft of questions left unanswered." Christina said, "Naomi has not had contact with her sisters since leaving. They keep telling me she is a lovely girl, but many people from Jersey have told me a completely different story. I'm not looking for a culprit. I'm looking for my son. I'm not accusing her of anything. But the fact she is not responding is quite mysterious and very strange. Why is she not coming back to my multiple appeals? Why has she not texted once?" she continued. Her mother is Thai, so she was there a lot. I wouldn't be surprised if she's in Thailand now hiding somewhere. I know that she's got family there. As a mum, you can feel something is wrong. It's a personal feeling. The attitude of Naomi and the landowner were a bit wary. I had a gut feeling that something was off. The attitude has shown me that they're not telling the truth. They know more than what they're saying." Christina, who lost her husband 7 years ago and is now juggling the search for Michael with looking after her youngest son, 11, said she's going through an unimaginable mix of emotions. "It's destroyed our lives. I'm going through an unimaginable mix of emotions," she said. "Not knowing where Michael is and what happened is unbearable. Feeling the worst and holding on to hope for the best, it's an overwhelming sense of helplessness. I spent my entire life caring for him, and now he needs me the most and I have no way of reaching him. I am powerless and the pain is excruciating. But I am determined to find him. Even in my grief, I will not stop fighting for him. The emotional and physical toll and constant worry. I am drained and I have no choice, but I will keep on going." Christina has given up everything to continue looking for her son, and has had to abandon her promising career in social work in order to dedicate her time to finding Michael. She has even had to downsize her property to facilitate and fund the continued hunt for answers. "I am leaving the house because I can't afford to live here and balance going between here and Italy," she said, adding that her second son is home educated and has developed separation anxiety. She praised Michael as such a kind and truly special soul, adding that he feels so deeply not just for himself but for others. He notices when someone is struggling. He offers a kind word and a helping hand. A friend of Christina set up a GoFundMe page to help find Michael. At the time of writing, it has raised over £8,000 towards search efforts.